Good morning, YouTube. G-Man5338 coming at you for another Mental Health Monday. That's right. The G-Man is going to square your shit away. I'm going to put your melanin in the right place so that you can enjoy the rest of the week. All right? Few things I want to go over before we step on down to my basement and you kick your feet up on my couch with coffee. Don't spill it, though. I'll kick your ass to the curb, yo. Now, like I said, things are going well here. We got 17 subscribers since last weekend. That's pretty good. Let's get some more people in here, yo. Okay? Education and awareness is key in addressing mental health issues. So spread the word, spread the love, ladies and gentlemen. Remember to check us on Instagram. Tested Metal, METTLE, number 8. All right? Remember, check us out. I'm always posting on there. Number 2, remember this week, middle of the week, it's a switcheroo. Wednesday will be Tunage Thursday. And Thursday will be What Happened Wednesday. Remember, if you haven't done it already, find yourself the movie The Departed. All right? Check it out. Or at least listen to the soundtrack. All right? That's the only hint I'm going to give you. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I hope your weekend was well. I hope you're all safe and good. I'm happy to see you all back here again on this friggin' cold and snowy Monday morning. Let's get that coffee into us. So let's get on with Mental Health Monday, where we'll discuss how to deal with things. All right? If you have a loved one or somebody in your life, coworker, whatever, who's got PTSD, because it affects everybody. All right? And kind of what you need to do to get help if you have PTSD, and what the first steps you need to be doing are. This is important, ladies and gentlemen. Could be a lifesaver. So come join me in my basement. Let's talk. Once again, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're with the G-Man and Ruckus. It's another fine Monday. Maybe not for everybody. It was a rough weekend for the old G-Man, but I'm here to tell the tale. Now it's Monday, so that means it is Mental Health Monday. Now, originally, I had a show all set up for today, but I get some emails from folks, and I get contacted from people, and, you know, I get the feeling from a lot of people that you know, you're still not ready to admit that you have issues. And so what I want to talk about today is getting to that stage, because if you can't get to that stage, anything that I tell you about getting treatment for your PTSD is useless. Okay? All my points are moot. So the first thing I want to tell you is that you need to get help, and you have to understand that you need to start looking inwards. It's very hard, it's very difficult, but you need to. But odds are you already know that you've got a problem, okay? You break your leg, you know it, you got a limp, you got to put a cast on it or something, okay? But when there is a problem with your melon, ladies and gentlemen, it is not that easy. All right? So when you are the sufferer, it's difficult, right? You don't always understand that you have a pathology. All right, especially the way PTSD functions, okay, and makes you function. All right, your mind is a million places and a million miles an hour. Okay, it's like drinking from a fire hose. We've talked about this, but odds are, okay, you've realized at some point in time, you know, wait a tick here, something's not right. You know, and listen to yourself. Listen to your guts, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Your gut instincts are more than likely your best option and the best answer, okay, to your problems. All right? That doesn't mean that you don't need to stop, ladies and gentlemen. All right? But odds are your gut instinct will be what you come up with if you stop. So, you know that something isn't right. You know, there's probably one aspect of, or signs or symptoms of PTSD that is catching your attention. It could be your sleep. Like for me, that was something I noticed big time. My nightmares was, in my face. I would wake up so sweaty from my nightmares that my hands would be pruned, my fingers would be pruned, like I was in a bath. My pillows would be soaked through. You know, I've ruined tons of pillows, sheets, mattresses from sweating so much from my nightmares. So it was another sort of thing that made me aware of that. Waking up feeling like I'd run a marathon. You know, I wake up and my heart would be beating, 100 beats a minute. Or I'd have to go throw up right away. You know, your body is telling you things, okay? And you need to listen. So go with your gut instinct, all right? If you think something is wrong, all right? And it's crucial that you do this, all right? If you think something is wrong, get help, all right? We've talked about 7 cups of tea. I know not everybody has access to free healthcare, all right? But if you have loved ones in your life, if you have access to the internet, okay, you should be able to find help, to get help, and to admit that you need help, ladies and gentlemen. Admit that you have a pathology. All right? Because when you go through trauma, your melon changes, remember? There are 3 big ways in which your melon changes, okay, in which affects you and changes your behavior and how you live and how you function. There's nothing wrong, ladies and gentlemen, with admitting, all right, that you're sick and that you need help. You know, in the military, you do parades a lot, you do drill, and you could be standing on a parade square, not moving, not doing anything for hours at a time. And during those long periods, all right, they would tell you that if you weren't feeling well, you take a knee. Because if you don't, the alternative is that you pass out, all right, and you fall flat on your face, you bust your nose. I've seen teeth come out, cuts from bayonets, all kinds of stuff. All right? And it's just like that with your mental health. If you think you have a problem, ladies and gentlemen, take a knee. Because if you do not, the alternative is ugly. Please. Follow your guts. If somebody is telling you, maybe you should get help, maybe you should get this looked at, or hey, maybe you're not, maybe they'll say that, hey, you know what, you're not yourself lately. Is everything okay? Perhaps your wife or your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, whatever you want to call it, your companion, all right, might notice at night that you're screaming out, you're thrashing, you're fighting, you're sweating. All right? Or maybe you're not falling asleep. You're just laying there in bed for hours at a time while your mind is in another place. Okay? Maybe you're too scared to go to sleep because of the nightmares, because of what it brings back to you. Please, just listen. Now, that's for people who might have PTSD, okay? Remember, you need to get help, and there's nothing wrong with admitting that you need help and admitting that you're sick. It happens, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot go through sometimes singular traumatic events or multiple traumatic events without it affecting you. Everybody has a red line. Even tough guys need someone sometimes, okay? Please. Now, if you are the loved one or friends or whatever, there's someone in your life that you care about, who you think might have PTSD. Okay, there's a number of ways you can deal with this. Number one, first and foremost, I would suggest that you do not encourage talking about the traumatic event. Okay? Rehashing the traumatic event is an awful, awful feeling for most sufferers of PTSD. I don't like talking about my traumatic events, and if I am going to talk about it, my doctor is with me. Other than that, I shut up about it. Doesn't mean I'm not learning to deal with it. But I just don't enjoy talking about it. So please, don't try to get them to talk about it. But what you need to do, okay, is when they are willing to talk about it, is to encourage it. Okay? The biggest thing to remember, okay, when you're dealing with somebody who has PTSD is to be there for them. Okay? Support them. Let them know that they are not alone. Now look, like I said, okay, the biggest thing you can offer is support and to be there for them. Odds are through their PTSD, they probably went through the traumatic event by themselves, or they felt very alone, hopeless, or helpless. All right, and you need to start chipping away at that feeling, because it is probably going to be one of the biggest walls or obstacles you will encounter when you are dealing with someone who has PTSD. Okay, they are going to feel isolated because of how they feel, because of how they feel about themselves, because of what they went through. But it's nice to know that somebody is by your side through it while you're going through this stuff. All right? Those are the most important things I can tell you. Now, we kind of already touched on this earlier, all right? But when and if somebody is ready to talk about what they're going through, about the traumatic event, okay, you need to make sure that you're going to be a good listener for them. Okay? Don't be distracted by your iPhone or a book, or be somewhere else. Okay? Make this time about you and them. Okay? So that you're focused. Okay? And another thing that will help you is to educate yourself on PTSD, which is what you're doing now by watching my video. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So be a good listener. Okay? Now, the next thing you need to do is work at rebuilding their trust and their safety. Okay? A lot of times with sufferers of PTSD, they are going to have trust issues. Okay? There are little to no people in my life that I trust. All right? And how I learned to trust them was to realize that I had to. All right? They were going to be my support network, whether I liked it or not. Okay? And I had to trust them. I had to. It wasn't easy. It was very difficult. It took me a long time. And I'm talking about trusting my wife and my doctor. Okay? It took me a long time. But they worked at it. And I worked at it. If you make a promise to somebody who has PTSD, make sure you follow through on it. Okay? You're starting off with probably no trust. Okay? And they don't feel safe. So you need to work hard to rebuild that. Even though you may have not done anything to cause that mistrust. All right? So don't take it personally. Please. The next thing you want to do, all right? Now, my wife and Ruckus, God bless them both, because they are both amazing at this, but it's anticipating possible triggers, okay? You need to keep an eye out to help the person with PTSD for things that might set them off, Okay, my wife is very in tune to what triggers me. She knows, okay, what is going to set me off or what is going to make me start throwing up or even shitting my pants. Hey, the joys of PTSD and anxiety, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Okay, so you need to look out for that. Think of yourself as like a seeing eye dog. Okay? Or somebody going out and it's clearing a minefield, all right? You're looking out for them. Okay? So pay attention for possible triggers, please. Now, one of the last things that you're going to have to deal with, okay, as a caregiver for somebody with PTSD is to deal with their volatility and anger. All right? When I was at my worst, okay, I put a few holes in the walls of my house. Broke my hand, my knuckles. All right? You need to be able to cope and deal with this. It can be scary, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure of it. Okay? But this is going to roll into my final thing, and that is to take care of yourself too. All right? You're no good to anybody if you're all strung out. Okay, it's hard to look after somebody who has PTSD. It is no easy feat. Okay, but there are support groups out there for you too. All right, look at 7 Cups of Tea. It'll help you as well. But please take care of yourself, because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't look after the person that you care about. So please, ladies and gentlemen, if there is something you take from this episode today, if you think you are suffering from PTSD, if there are things going on in your life that are making you stop and think that something isn't right, please get help. Okay, remember, you don't need to talk about your trauma. Okay, and if you are contacting me, okay, which I don't mind, okay, that's why I'm here, that's why I set this channel up. Okay, please don't feel the need to talk about your trauma to me. Let's just talk about what you're dealing with right now. Okay? We can talk about the trauma later. But please get help. And if you're looking after somebody, okay, we've talked about things to look for, okay? And we've talked about a few tips and some guidelines to help you in dealing with your loved one or your friend or whoever who may have PTSD. Maybe it's a coworker. Who knows? Okay, this affects everybody. No one is immune, ladies and gentlemen. And that is where I leave you today. Tomorrow, it is Tattoo Tuesday. We will talk about what machines are right for you, considering how much help you might have, how much experience you may already have, how much money you have, all right? We'll look at how much money you should be spending. What's too much? What's too little? Okay, what's going to get you the most bang for your buck? All right? Maybe we'll look at some art too. And we've got the switcheroo midweek. And remember to stay tuned for Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Friday. Everybody loves Friday. I hope everybody loves my content. So like, subscribe, comment, share. Please tell people about this. Spread the word. Awareness and education is crucial. Listen, thank you for tuning in. I hope your weekend was great. I hope you're doing well. Be good. Be safe. Look out for each other, people. Peace.